fight on the landing ground.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. This is Sweden in November 2017. Could this be Canada's future? There are many in Canada who think it's more than likely. As is the case in most Western countries, the media is complicit. They agree with and don't challenge the ridiculous policy of not describing in more detail the offenders of violence, certainly in Canada. Now, I'm no lawyer, so I don't know for sure that it's the actual law. But two things come to mind for me. First, if it is, then it's a denial of Section 2 of the Charter in Canada. And second, if there is no law preventing full disclosure, then it's a failure of the media to do their job. Either way, it's a disgrace. Here's my view. Take it how you will. If there's a pattern to this non-stop violence that's going on in our cities and towns in Canada, then we have the right to know, just as we have the right to know that there is not. In other words, it must be up to the public to make its mind up. If there is a pattern, then the media and the politicians are complicit and should resign and let citizens who are more responsible take action that is needed to root out the problem. Life sometimes is quite simple. It's just politicians who get in the way. Listen to this piece from Fox News, Tucker Carlson, link on my site. Your thoughts, as always.
Muslim countries, perhaps no nation on earth is more committed to accepting foreign migrants and refugees than Sweden. In 2016 alone, the country accepted more than 160,000 asylum seekers, despite having a population of less than 10 million people. Only 500 of these migrants were able to get jobs in Sweden. But if these arrivals aren't able to work, they're at least able to commit crimes. Quite a few of them, in fact. Ami Horowitz is a filmmaker. He went to Sweden to chronicle its refugee experience. Here's a short clip of what he found.
Do you see the violence really spreading across Sweden into the cities?
At least 1 or 2 times a week.
And let's say 5 years ago, how often would you say it was?
No, 3 times a year.
Really? The increase in this kind of crime is exponential.
I think we caught off guard. We didn't expect it to be so much increase.
Tucker spoke with the filmmaker earlier this week.
Ami, thanks a lot for coming on. So before you describe what you saw there, give us the overview. What is the justification within Sweden for importing this many migrants from other countries? Why are they doing it?
Well, in Sweden's own words, they consider themselves to be a humanitarian superpower, probably the only superpower that they would qualify for. So they feel that it's their moral duty to open their borders to all and any refugees that want to come to them.
So you've recently spent time there. Tell me if I'm overstating this. I don't think many people in Sweden think this is working well. Is that fair to say?
No, it's not fair to say, actually. In fact, most people that you ask about the refugee crisis, they will say, because the reason why I did the whole thing to begin with, taking a step back, was that there was an absolute surge in both gun violence and rape in Sweden once they began this open door policy. So they know that this crime is happening. They can feel it. The statistics are clear. But they would refer to what is the root cause behind it and say, oh, it's just more, it happened to be more violence. It's men who are raping people, not the refugees. They'll make excuses for it. The majority of the population in Sweden still want to have an open door policy. It's confounding.
You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all my morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio, that's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can find all my podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com and click on the Morning Moments tab.